Hi, and welcome to Geeks for Geeks. Today, we would be doing the post-contest discussion of interview series 5-4, and these are the problems that are listed. So, we would have a time frame of 1 minute, so we would just wait for next 1 minute, and then we would start after this is over itself. Let me just turn on a preview screen to see if I'm visible or not. Okay, fair enough. So we have only 5 seconds left, and we would start off with the discussion. Okay, that's it. So let me lower down the volume of the preview screen so that I can focus. Okay, fair enough. So let us start with the very first problem. So the very first problem is maximum occurring digit. Okay, so in this problem, we are given an array of numbers, okay, and a digit k. So we are given a digit k and an array of numbers itself. Fair enough. Then we are told that we need to find the number with the maximum occurrence of k. Okay, if there are more than one number, return the smallest one. So let us first solve this with the maximum occurrence of k. Okay, so we are given the k as 0. So 100 has 2 occurrence of 0. 202 has 1 occurrence of 0. 2000 has 3 occurrence of 0. हिंदी में समझा जाए तो ये प्रॉब्लम ये बोलना चाहता है कि हमें एक एरे दिया जाएगा और हमें एक डिजिट दिया जाएगा और हर एरे का एलिमेंट में कितने ऑकरेंस है वो बताना होगा और जिस एरे एलिमेंट में वो ऑकरेंस सबसे ज्यादा रहेगा वही हमारा आंसर होगा। सपोज 100 है, इसमें भी 0 का ऑकरेंस 2 है और 200 है, इसमें भी 0 का ऑकरेंस 2 है। इसमें 100 हमारा रिजल्ट होगा। द मिनिमम वन वुड बी द रिजल्ट if the frequency of the digit k is very equal. That is why we are only have the maximum occurrence as 3 and we have no other competitors with the same frequency. That is why the solution to this is 2000 itself. Okay, am I clear with the problem statement or not? Quickly tell me so that I can just move forward. Till then I would be explaining the next test case. Okay, I would just wait for the next 1 minute. I won't start any timer or something. Okay, now we have the next test case, same as I told. Like in 100 we have 2 occurrence, in 200 we also have 2 occurrence, but in 300 we have 1 occurrence. So top performers को लेना है, we would take the top performers, that is 100 and 200. What is the minimum value? This is the minimum value. That is why the solution to the very first one is this. Now, how would you solve this problem? To solve this problem, it is very easy. How it is very easy? So we need to go at each element and count the frequency of k. Count the frequency of k at each number. Count the frequency of k at each number. And then you need to find the maximum ones and then you need to take the minimum. And you need to take minimum from top performers. That is the maximum value. Example 2 is incorrect in explanation, but not all have equal zeros. Answer is correct though. Okay, so we won't be going in the explanation because I would be the one explaining. Okay, I would be forwarding this to the team itself. Okay, fair enough. This is what we need to do. So now suppose we have this value that is 100, 200 and then suppose we have 30 and we want to count the digit 0. How can we do so? So to count the frequency of a particular digit, in this we want the digits in each number. So now our main focus is get all digits of a number. So we need to get all the digits of a number. Then we need to compare it with k. If it is equal, we would count. तो क्या करना है, हर नंबर लेना है, उसमें से सारा डिजिट निकालना तो होगा ना, वो तो पूरा एक नंबर दिया गया, अब सारा डिजिट को निकालना होगा, निकाल के उसको k के साथ कंपेयर करना होगा. अगर वो k के इक्वल होगा तब हम लोग एक वेरिएबल रख लेंगे जिसको काउंट बढ़ा देंगे, एट द एंड वो वेरिएबल रिटर्न कर देंगे. दिस इज हाउ वी वुड डू. सो नाउ how to get the values. Suppose we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 individually. So to get the values individually, to get the last, suppose first we would get the last value. To get the last values, we can use something like modulo 10. So when 10 is divided by this, the remainder remaining is 5. So we would get the last value. Okay. After that, we would do the integer division of 10. Okay, so doing the modulo 10 would make it 5, and then what we would do is we would divide it by 10. Okay, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then dividing it by 10, doing the integer division. So dividing it by 10 would be 1, 2, 3, 4.5, but we are doing the integer division. That means 1, 2, 3, 4. So one value is lowered down. Now we want again the last value, so we would again take 10. And then we would again take the last value, that is 4. Then we would again divide 1, 2, 3, 4 divided by 10. That would make it 1, 2, 3. Now we have 1, 2, 3 itself. Okay. Then 1, 2, 3 modulo 10 is equals to 3. So again we would divide 1, 2, 3 divided by 10. That would make it 12. So we now have 12. Then we would again take modulo 10, that is 2. Then we would again divide 12 by 10, that is equals to 1. Okay, this is how you would get the value. So see, the values we have got is at each modulo we would be getting the values. So at the end we would be getting 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we are also getting the value 5. So what we can do is we can pass the value k and we can compare each digit and we can count the number of frequency. अब प्रॉब्लम काफी सिंपल हो चुका है. Okay, what we can do is we can just count the values, and if the current value, suppose we have the value 100 and then we have the value as 200. If we count the number of zeros, here it would be 2, here it would be 2. Okay, here it would be 2, here it would be 2. So if the count is same as we have already got, okay, so I would just explain you what we are trying to do. Suppose we are having 10, 200 and then we have 300 and the digit k is equals to the value 0. So first we would have a answer variable that is equal to 0, which would store the count. So let's take it c value, that would store the count of 0. Then we would have an answer variable that would be -1. Why -1? Because we can see in this question that suppose that value is not present, we would return -1. Okay, fair enough. This is what we would do. So now when we would come to the very first value, the count of the digit is 1, which is greater than we have counted. So this would be updated and this would be updated to 10. Now we have a next value that is 2, which is greater than 1. So we would update it to 200. Then we would again get a value 2. If the count of the frequency at this term and this is same, then we would remain the value, but we would take the minimum of that. So 200 minimum of 300 would remain 200 only. That is why the answer to this would be 200. Now we would be implementing it itself. Okay, am I clear with the problem? Am I clear with the solution or not? Can we start the implementation or not? Just quickly tell me if I can start the implementation or not. If you have any issues, just let me know. Just quickly tell me if I'm clear with the implementation or not. I will just start the timer itself. Okay, I have started on the timer. So quickly tell me, just reply with a quick one and we would wait for the next 1 minute and then we would move forward, or just 30 seconds, because people who are watching it live won't take more than 30 seconds. Thanks a lot, Ruchi Badkur. What about Praveen? Praveen, am I clear? Satyabrat, thanks a lot. Sid Bhaiya OP. This is not PUBG, bro. And I play PUBG too, so I know the meaning of OP. Okay, and where we use it. Okay, fair enough. Now let us move to the implementation part. Okay, as this is a very easy level question, so people who are not able to do it mostly would be beginners, so they would be facing a difficulty regarding the implementation. So let us quickly implement it live itself. Okay. Okay, fair enough. Because starting में ही implementation का problem होता. So from now we have decided that I would code the simple problems and I would show you the code for the harder problems. This is what I have decided. Still, if you have any concern and queries, you can just ask me. So what I would do is I would simply take this function and then I would code it in here. Okay, so I would just take a simple value and then I would start coding here. Why? Because I can increase the size to a large extent. And then I would paste this code. Okay. Okay, fair enough. Then I can go down. So yes, this is properly visible itself. Now what we would do is we would first decide a function. So we would name it as count k. Count k. Then we would pass two functions, that is the number x and the value of k. Okay, then if we would start with the count frequency as 0 itself, we would start the frequency as 0. Then while x is greater than 1, while x is greater than 0. Why? Because we kept doing this like this. Okay, I will just show you this. Suppose we have 1. Then first we did modulo 10, we got 1. Then we had 1 divided by 10 is equals to 1. Then we had 1. Again we do modulo 10, that would make it 1. And then again 1 divided by 10 is equals to 0.1, that would make it 0. And after that we need to stop. So we would keep continuing this till the value is greater than 0 itself. Okay, we would keep continuing this. So first we would take the value of t, that is digit x modulo 10 itself. Okay, then if the current digit is equal to k, okay, if the current digit is equal to k, then we would increment the value of c itself. Okay, then we would divide the number because we want to go to the next number. X is equals to x divided by 10 itself. Okay, then we would return whatever the count we have received. Okay, I would just copy this value because we would need this. Copy this name. Okay, now we would start the iteration itself. So initially we would have the count of the k frequency as 0 and answer as -1, because if there is no remaining, then if this value is not changed, suppose there is no digit, okay, suppose there is no digit like this, suppose the value of k is equals to 0 and we have the number as 1, there is only one element, so no 0, we need to return 1 in this, -1 in this case, so the value won't get updated, so we can directly return answer. Even we don't need to use use if statement at the last. मतलब last में check करना होगा कि अगर value 0 ही लग गया then return -1. We don't need to do this. We can take an initial value only, that if the value is not getting updated then we need to return the value. Okay, मतलब अगर value update ही नहीं हो रहा तो कुछ करने का है ही नहीं. So for int I is equals to 0, I is less than n and I plus plus. We are iterating over the whole array. पूरा array में iterate करना हर एक number पे. Okay, fair enough. Then int val, the current val is equals to count k of the current value, that is a of I, and then the value of k that is received up till now. So if the current value is greater than the frequency that we have received, अगर frequency greater है तब तो कुछ बात करने का है ही नहीं, तब तो कुछ बात करने का बनता ही नहीं है. What we would simply do is we would simply update it. That is val, that is c is equals to val, and we would update the answer. We would update the answer to a of I. Else if the val is equals to c, अगर दोनों same रहा, then we need to take the minimum, because it is told that if two values there is more than if there is no more than one such number, return the smallest one. So अगर same frequency का ज़्यादा number है तो we need to return the smallest one. So what we would do is x is equals to, So answer is equals to minimum of answer, comma, the value of a of I. Okay, and then we would simply return the value of answer itself. Okay, now let us paste this and see how many errors are we making, because थोड़ा performance pressure तो होता है. Okay, so let us see how many errors are we making. So we are doing a correct output for the sample test case. Now let us submit this and see if we can get an AC or not. And yes, we got an AC. Okay, now before moving to the next problem, I would wait for the next 30 seconds to, okay, so I would just go back and I would wait for the next 30 seconds and you mention the line number at which you have a doubt itself. So just mention the line number. Okay, just mention the line number. I would be waiting for the next one. Quickly mention the line number. I would be waiting for the next one. Quickly like the video, quickly like the video. Quickly tell me if this thing is clear or not. Quickly tell me if this thing is clear or not. If you have any issues, just tell me the line number. Like if you have an issue with the line number 21, you can tell me. Okay, how to remove this person? Hide the user on this channel. So how can I hide this person? Okay, I don't know how to hide this person, so we would simply move on to the next problem statement. Okay. So we would stop here, reset the timer, then go back to the next problem. So now let us discuss the time complexity and we can see if it was feasible or not. So let us discuss for this. So for each of the digits, so we are just iterating on the number of digits. So iterating on the number of digits, so it entirely depends on the number of digits. So what is the largest length? So the value is 1E9. That means it would have 10 values. So this is nothing but big O of 10 at max. Okay, and this value, this is what? This is just iterating over the values. So this is just iterating over the values, that is big O of n. And for each operation, we are doing 10 operation at max. So time complexity of this approach is big O of n multiplied by the number of digits present in the given array, max number of digits. Okay, fair enough. Now let us move forward to the next problem statement. Just let me know if this is easy or not. I know it would just take little bit of time. So this is the problem where I would be taking more amount of time, because this is a dynamic programming problem. And how we are getting the intuition that this is a dynamic programming problem, we would discuss that also. Just quickly tell me if things are clear to you or not. So when we open this problem, we can see that we are given three integers, that is n, k, and the target value. What is n here? N are the number of values. We can do also array sorting then, and then needn't do each time then. Yeah, we can do that. Obviously, we can do that. Now, an array of coins of size n. Okay, but that would just increase the time complexity, because sorting has a time complexity of n log n. Okay, yeah. So size of the array. So यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा है? यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा है? एक array दिया गया है और एक target value दिया गया है. ओके, और ये सारे है ना सिक्के हैं. अब ये सारे सिक्के को जितना मन चाहे यूज कर सकते हो और इस टारगेट वैल्यू पे पहुंचना है. ओके, जितना बार चाहे यूज कर सकते हो, बट जितना बार सिक्का यूज करना है ये कंफर्म्ड है. दैट वी कैन यूज एट मैक्स 3 coins. Okay, 3 coins. So we need to use 3 coins. Okay, and we need to reach the sum of 11. and we can use one coin as many number of times as we can. Like we can use 5 2 times and then 1 once. By using 3 coins we are getting the sum as 11. So yes, एक कॉइन को बार बार यूज कर सकते हो, मगर टोटल जितना कॉइन यूज कर रहे हो वो सिर्फ और सिर्फ के ही होना चाहिए, ना के से कम ना के से ज्यादा. Please give us a guideline. Okay, how to be good in dynamic programming? I would tell you how to be good. Don't worry about that. Just look at this problem, and I would not teach you in terms of dynamic programming. Just look at this problem. I would go step by step. Okay, and tell me if you are understanding or not. The first step is that you should be good with recursion. So if you are good with recursion, just you are good with recursion, then tell me, then we are ready enough to solve this problem. Just good with recursion. How? I would tell you that. Okay, then 7, 2, 4, 3, 5 or 25. This is the target value. Now we would start solving this problem. Okay, to start solving this problem, we can see that एक coin को 2 बार भी यूज कर सकते हैं, एक कॉइन को 3 बार भी यूज कर सकते हैं, एक कॉइन को 4 बार भी यूज कर सकते हो. बट प्रॉब्लम यहां आएगा कि कौन सा कॉइन कितना बार यूज करना ये तो पता ही नहीं चल रहा है. ओके, सो यहाँ पे एक डेफिनेट तरीका नहीं है जिससे वो फॉर्मूला लगाओ या ये वो सॉर्टिंग वोटिंग लगाओ और जिससे वो टारगेट पे पहुंच जाए. Okay, suppose we would use the smallest element. Suppose we can say that we would use the smallest element again and again and we would reach that value. But see, this is not possible. We would use again the value 4 and we would reach this value. No. But we don't know to combine which element with what. Like to combine 7 with what, to combine 2 with what. So हमें ये combination पता ही नहीं है. If we can't decide the answer, then we need to look at all dimension. मतलब हर तरह से देखना होगा, हर तरह. Okay, हर तरह. I will just write it in Hindi. So if we are not able to solve this problem greedily, that by sorting, by taking smaller value, larger value, or we can't decide the next step, then we need to look at all dimension. Looking at all dimension in Hindi means हर तरह से देखना होगा. जब भी हर तरह से देखना होगा, that means we need to use something known as recursion. हर तरह मतलब ही recursion. Okay, don't think about the DP and all. Just हर तरह मतलब recursion. Okay, so how to solve this problem using recursion? So I would take this value again and then I would have this value. Okay, so now at each step there are many possibilities. Suppose I can take a coin once more. Take a coin once more. We can take a coin once more, or the next time we don't take a coin. Don't take a coin. मतलब वो coin को consider, एक बार वो coin को consider करना है, एक बार नहीं करना है. So what we would do is, okay, this person is putting a lot of problems here. I just don't know how to remove this. Hide user on this channel. Okay, it is hidden now. So what we would do is we would go to 7, 2 and 4 itself. Then N3, K5 and target is equals to 25 here. So what we would do is first we would take in 7, 2 and 4. The indices are 0, 1 and 2. So first we would take this value, that is we would take this value. If we take this value, then the target, so earlier the target was 25. Now if we take this value, so we would have a sum of 7 and we have used a coin, that is 1. If we don't take this value, then sum up till now is 0 and k up till now is 0. That means अगर coin नहीं लेंगे तो सम और k का वैल्यू दोनों 0 ही रहेगा, या फिर अगर k को कंसिडर करेंगे तो s कम होगा और k में एक डिजिट बढ़ेगा. Okay, fair enough. Then we would again go to 2 dimension. Okay, if we are again going on to 2 dimension, okay, if we are again going on 2 dimension, then the first thing we would do is we would take up the second value also. So we would take 7 plus 2, that is 9. So we would take the sum as 9 because पहला element consider हो चुका है, next element बाकी है. We would consider the next element, that is 7 plus 2 is equals to 9. As we have considered the next coin also, that means we would have the value k as 2. Then if we are not considering the second value, okay, if we are not considering the second value, the sum would remain the same and k would be equal to the same only, same number of coins. So this is how we would proceed. Okay, as we can again proceed a particular value after taking that consideration, we can again consider. So there are two possibilities. First, we can consider and we can ignore. And if we are considering, then we would consider again. If we are ignoring, we would keep ignoring. So this recursion tree, we would keep going back. So what are the things that we need? So at the end, the sum becomes equal to the target value. If sum becomes equal to the target value, and if k is equal to the given k is capitalized k. If both are clear, then we can say that yes, our answer exists. I can say this or not. Just quickly tell me if I can say this or not. Or if I take just a target, so if the target is equals to 0, or we have used all the coins, then it is yes. Quickly tell me. Or the recursion, the base cases. So we would think about base cases now because we have drawn the recursion tree. So what is the base case here? When the sum, so base case is सबसे छोटा केस जो हम लोग खुद से सॉल्व कर सकते हैं. बेस केस क्या है? सबसे छोटा केस जो खुद से सॉल्व हो सकता है. Base case is the smallest case that we can solve it by ourselves. So what is the smallest case here? So let us consider it. So smallest case is when there are no coins. When there is no coins, then we can't have a target. Okay. So when n is equals to 0, then the value would be false. सबसे smaller, सबसे छोटा case. Then when k is equals to 0, then we can have the target also. Yes. So when n is equals to, when k is equals to 0 and target is also equals to 0, that means that yes, कोई ना हम कोई कॉइन यूज कर सकते हैं ना कोई टारगेट तक पहुंचना है, तो कुछ करना ही नहीं है. तो हाँ ठीक है, ये काम हम कर देंगे. दिस इज जस्ट लाइक दिस सिंपल थिंग. कोई कॉइन यूज नहीं करना है, कोई गोल पहुंचना नहीं है, अगर ये चीज है तो कर ही देंगे ना भाई. अगर घर वाले बोले खा पी के सोए रहो तो कर ही देना है ना, कुछ करना तो है ही नहीं, तो कर ही देंगे. साया सोचना तो है नहीं. एवरीथिंग इज 0, कर ही देंगे. और इफ द वैल्यू इज नेगेटिव, सपोज द वैल्यू ऑफ k is negative. If the value of k is negative or target is negative, अगर नेगेटिव कॉइन यूज करना है, अगर k लेस देन 0 है और टारगेट लेस देन 0 है, तो ये सारा केस में उल्टा ही करो. दैट इज फॉल्स वैल्यू. व्हाई फॉल्स वैल्यू? बिकॉज यहाँ पे वी कैन ओनली एड अ वैल्यू. इफ यू सी द वैल्यू ऑफ कॉइन्स, then the value of coins are always positive, that is from 1 to 100. If the value of the coins is always positive, then there is no point in going to a negative. We can't go to the negative side. So we can simply say that if k is less than 0 or t is less than 0, we would have the 0. And then for each step, we would be either considering or we won't be considering. So for the intermediate case, we have this recursion tree. For the base case, we have this. Okay? Base case. Is the base case clear or not? I would wait for the next 30 seconds and quickly tell me if this base case is clear or not. And then we would start off with recursion. अभी तक कोई DP वगैरह कूदा नहीं है. कोई DP वगैरह नहीं. बस recursion. Simple recursion. Base case सोचा, intermediate case सोचा, recursion tree बनाया और recursion पे कूद गए. बस इतना ही है और कुछ नहीं. सर कांट वी सॉल्व दिस क्वेश्चन यूजिंग बैक ट्रैकिंग? अगर रिकर्शन से हो ही रहा है तो बैक ट्रैकिंग जाके फायदा क्या है? अगर रिकर्शन से काम हो ही जा रहा है, अगर एक गर्लफ्रेंड से जिंदगी सुख में है ही, तो दूसरी गर्लफ्रेंड क्यों चाहिए मेरे भाई? Okay, sorry Aditi, I'm extremely sorry. Okay, I thought that Aditi is somewhere. Okay, So if you're happy with one, if you're happy having an easy life, why going for a complex one? Okay, backtracking is what? Backtracking is the level 2 of recursion. So why go with level 2 if you can solve it using level 1? Yes, it can be solved. But I'm just telling you the logic why we are not going into backtracking. Don't take it the other way. I was just joking. थोड़ा mood light कर रहा था. Okay, don't take it the other way. Okay, so चलिए कोड करते हैं. Okay, so now we would start the coding part of this. So for the coding part, we would have bool solve function. Then what are the things we would have? We would have int n, and we would have the value of int k. How we are deciding this? Okay, how we are deciding this int k. So int k जो यहाँ दिया हुआ है वो सारा चीज यहाँ पे भी लेना. What we would do is we would take all these values and we would simply paste it at this position. Okay, this position पे लाके डाल दो. Okay, simple है. आगे बढ़ते हैं ना भाई. Okay, so what we would do is if k is equals to 0, अगर k भी 0 है and target is also equals to 0. Okay, अगर कुछ करना ही नहीं है तो हाँ भाई ये काम तो हम कर ही देंगे. Okay, so we would return true. ठीक है भाई, अगर कुछ करना ही नहीं है तो काम तो हम कर ही देंगे. ना कहीं पहुंचना है, ना कुछ करने के लिए बचा है, तो ना कुछ करना है ना कुछ पहुंचने के लिए बचा है, तो हाँ भाई दिन कट ही जाएगा. this. Okay, so if k is less than 0, okay, if k is less than equal to 0, or target is less than equal to 0. If k is less than equal to 0, target is less than equal to 0, we would return false. बट भैया आपने तो कहा था कि जब लेस देन 0 होगा तब जाना है, जब लेस देन 0 होगा तब ना जाना है फॉल्स वैल्यू. तो यहाँ पे हम लोग फॉल्स इक्वल टू पे क्यों कर रहे हैं? बिकॉज द वैल्यू ऑफ इक्वल टू इज ऑलरेडी चेक्ड. नाउ यहाँ पे एक ही कंडीशन, मतलब दोनों फॉल्स, दोनों 0 तो है नहीं. सो that means that we need to still have a coin left or we have some target value left. So अगर दोनों 0 नहीं है मतलब दोनों में कुछ ना कुछ वैल्यू तो है. अगर कॉइन बचा हुआ है या टारगेट बचा हुआ है और एक वैल्यू 0 हो गया या उससे कम हो गया तो फॉल्स रिटर्न कर देंगे. दिस इज वन स्मॉल थिंग दैट वी वुड डू. Okay, this comes by experience. Okay, this is thing that we would do in experience. Okay, so ये तो हम कर दिए. Okay, now a bool answer is equals to false. Why we are doing answer is equals to false? Okay, I would tell you this because see we are going in a lot of dimension. बहुत तरीके में जा रहे हैं, कभी इधर कभी उधर, कभी इधर कभी उधर, बहुत सारे केसेस बन रहे हैं. 1000, 2000, 1 lakh, 2 lakh. There are a lot of cases going on like 1000, 2000, 3000. If this many number of cases are going on, then we are told that एक भी तरीके से अगर आंसर पे पहुंच पाओ, then we would have a true value. We are told that by any means if you are able to get the value, then we would have a true value. So what we are doing is we are initializing a value with false itself. So we are initializing a value with 0. False is what? 0. And if we do a OR with 0, 0 would remain the same. But if we do a OR with 1, then it would become 1. Or if you do it is 1 and then we do a XOR with 0, then it would remain 1. Or if we do 1 with 1, then also it would remain 1. The truth table of OR. So हम देख रहे हैं कि अगर false आया तो value change नहीं हो रहा. अगर false आया value change नहीं हो रहा. False आया तो value change होगा नहीं. Okay, अगर true आया तब value change हो जाएगा. So by any means we are able to get the value true, then that would be saved for the further iteration. मतलब अगर value true आ गया तो आगे में भी हम लोग को वो value तो मिलता रहेगा. That is why we are using an OR operation here itself. Okay, so we are initializing our answer with the value as 0. Then we would be iterating over all of the given index. Int I is less than n and then I plus plus. Okay, then we need to make all of this as capitalized K. Okay, K target bool answer Okay, and this will be capitalized and थोड़ा mistake तो होगा ही, हम भी इंसानी हैं. Answer is equals to answer और with आंसर को और कर दो, solve function में जाओ, and then we would have an, अगर एक वैल्यू तो यूज कर लिया, so the number of coins remaining is 1 minus. Suppose 10 कॉइन थे, एक कॉइन यूज कर लिया, ith कॉइन यूज कर लिया, तो अब नंबर ऑफ कॉइन्स तो कम बचे ना, तो we would use less number of coins. और अगर वो वैल्यू भी यूज कर ली है, दैट मीन द टारगेट हैज आल्सो लोअर्ड डाउन. अगर थोड़ा मंजिल पहुंच गए तो वो थोड़ा मंजिल पहुंचने से मेरा मंजिल से डिस्टेंस तो कम हो जाएगा ना. So that is what we are doing. So if you are using that value, that means the target would get lowered down. Target minus is equals to coins of the particular value I, and then we would have coins. जैसा था वैसे ही. See, here n remains the same, size remains the same, k is lowered down, target is lowered down, else everything remains the same. Okay, fair enough. Then whatever value we are getting, we would return this as answer itself. Okay, we are returning this as answer. Then what you need to do is we need to just return solve, जो है बस पास कर दो, nk and then target and then coins. अब देखते हैं कितना mistake, how many mistakes we are doing. So let us see how many mistakes we are doing. Solve of k minus 1. Lower case, upper case, I always have this issue. ये छोटा बड़ा में हमेशा प्रॉब्लम होते रहता है. Okay, our output is 1. Now let us submit this and see. So we are getting a time limit exceeding. Okay, so first tell me if this thing is clear or not. First tell me this thing is clear or not. Then we would do an optimization of a recursion by how we can pass this. So now I would just wait for 1 minute because this is a very crucial step where we are waiting. Just tell me the line number where you are not understanding. Just tell me the line. Just line number बताओ ना, बाद बाकी अपन संभाल लेंगे. Tell me the line number. बैक ट्रैकिंग में TLE तो यहाँ भी आ गया ना. Just tell me things are clear to you or not. Just quickly tell me if things are clear to you or not. जल्दी बताइए, क्लियर हुआ कि नहीं. Okay, everyone is clear with this. Line number 36. कहाँ पर है line number 36? So see, if we are going in the subsequent cases and if somehow we are getting the value true, मतलब what is this? I would explain each part of this. So see, अगर 0 आया, okay, अगर 0 आया तो false ही रहेगा. अगर किसी भी तरीका से अगर true आ गया तो that would be the answer. So if by any means we are getting a value true, then that would be our answer. This is why this OR operation is done. Here OR operation is this one. Why we are using K? Because one coin is used. One coin is being used. Next one. Why? Because if we are using that coin, that means the target value is lowered down. So lowering the target value. अगर पढ़ाई करेंगे तो गोल के नजदीक पहुंचेंगे. We are using that thing. We are lowering down the target. और जो हिस्से रह गए वो भी कम होंगे. So now tell me, not considering the case where we are not taking the coin. So basically this is the point where it is already done. Like less than 0. If it is less than 0, we are already considering the coin. This is enough to handle all the cases. I just gave you more dimension to work. But here, even if you are not considering. So see, this is the variation of a knapsack problem. So in the knapsack, you also need to consider the case where you are not considering. Okay. So in that, for that problem to have a generalized discussion, that is why I also consider the case where we won't be taking that value. Okay. Now tell me if this thing is clear for 7 point someone or not? Just quickly tell me if things are clear to you or not. Okay, so then we would talk about what are the things that are changing. क्या parameter change हो रहे हैं. Just see the parameters that are getting changed. So see, okay, time complexity of this algorithm would be exponential. So this is a formula where you can use, just write the formula that time complexity of recursion. Just use a formula, there is a proper algorithm to do that. So जो इसमें change हो रहे हैं, we would encircle that value. So see, n is here also, n is here also. So n is not changing. N size हर जगह same ही है. We are having k here, but here k is -1, k -1. So k's value is changing. K का value तो change हो ही रहा है ना जनाब. So then we are also taking the consideration that see, target is getting lowered down. That means target is also getting lowered down. So target and k is getting changed. Okay, target and the value of k is getting changed. This coin is also same. This coin is also same. N is same. N is same. So जो value same है, how many values are changing? The number of values that are changing is 2. So this is a 2D dynamic programming problem. So now what you need to do is you need to have a 2D array of k cross target. K cross target. So what is the largest value of k? Okay. So you can just take the largest value of n cross target, that is 2 into 10 to the power 5. But instead what you can do is you can have a vector. Okay. You can have a vector kind of thing like this. Okay. Like we would have a vector where we would declare the size at this point. Okay. We would have a vector of int or vector of int. We would have vector of int, that is 2D vector. Then what we would do is we would declare it as DP array. Then k, we would also access the index k. So we would just take k plus 1 or k plus 2 to be on the safer side. Okay, k plus 2. Then we would also have vector of int, 2D vector we are just defining with the size, 2D vector of target plus 2, and we would initialize all the values as -1 only. Okay, all the values at -1. This is the same as doing dp of k plus 2 and dp of target plus 2. This is like doing this. Okay, this is an alternative to this. Okay, so I would just write it here itself. So this is an alternative to this. Why you are using the alternative? Because sometimes the DP array, when it has a large size, it sometimes malfunctions. That is why we would be using vector, prioritizing vector more than array itself. Then what we would be doing is, before calculation of answer, we would just check that if this value is already calculated or not. So already calculated, that is that initial value -1 is not there. कुछ तो value है, कोई एक value रखा हुआ होगा. So if that, so जो पहले रखे गए थे वो अभी भी वैसा ही है. That means कुछ change नहीं हुआ है. So dp of k cross target is not equal to -1. जैसे छोड़ के गए थे वैसा नहीं है. That means कुछ changing हुआ है. So we would return dp of k dash target. We would have dp of k dash target. Now after that, if we are before returning the answer, अगर आंसर कैलकुलेट कर लिए तो बस सेव कर देना. This is just like using the idea. Just a second. Okay, this is just like using the idea of, अगर आंसर कैलकुलेट कर लिया है तो सेव करके रखो ना भाई, फ्यूचर में कभी काम आ सकता है. dp of target is equals to answer just before returning that. Okay, Then what you would be doing is we would be just passing this vector of vectors of dp. Okay, this is what we would be doing. Okay, so there is plus 2 because there are two conditions. Okay, so now what we would be doing is we would have this vector of the vector of vectors of int. Okay, then we would have this, and then we would pass by reference, that is this dp array pass करेंगे तब ना वो accessible रहेगा. And then same here we would pass the dp also. Here also after this we would pass the dp array also. Okay, sorry, I just wrote the wrong. Here we would pass the dp array. So here we have just declared a new array. We are passing that array. If the value is already calculated, we would not calculate the value. अगर पहले से किया हुआ है लाके रख दो, नहीं किया हुआ है तो जाके लाओ. This is just like this. So now we would be doing compile and run and saying how many errors we are doing. Okay, I saw an error here. Okay, vector of and of coins. Vector is a not of type. Vector is a not of type this. So vector of int, and then we would have this. Okay, where we are having the errors, the dp of k plus 2, this is where the declaration vector was not declared at this 2. Okay, so let us just see vector of int, and then we had do this, and then we had dp of k plus 2, then vector of int, and then we are having target plus 5 minus 1. Yes, so vector line number 46. So we would name, okay, we removed the name dp array. Okay, we would remove the name. Okay, this is there itself. So vector of int, and then we are having dp of k plus 5, then we are having again vector of int, target plus 2. So the function bull is vector of and of dp. Vector of and of dp. Can you quickly spot the error where I'm making a mistake? Okay. Vector का spelling गलत है. Thanks a lot. See, these all small mistakes do happen. K was not declared in the scope. This is k plus 2. Now this is done. This is such a small error na, that it gets overlooked. But as this was a DP problem na, so I considered solving it one by one. Okay, so after all this tedious attempts, we are done. Now I would be pasting this code here so that I can have a better view of this. Just tell me the line number where you are not able to see this. So just see this and tell me the line number where you think that you are having an issue. Okay, just tell me the line number. Well, we would be waiting for the next 30 seconds to 1 minute. Spelling mistake, thanks a lot. बड़ी बड़ी शहरों में छोटी छोटी गलतियां होती रहती है. Sometimes the mistakes are so small that it just get overlooked. And yes, I can't make a mistake in writing vector or something. That is what happened. So am I clear with this approach or not? Quickly tell me if this thing is clear or not. Quickly tell me if this thing is clear or not. C++ line number 46. Where is line number 46? Why doing or with the answer has already been explained 2 times. 2 times it is answered. So I won't be doing the repetition 2 times. Okay, so line number 32, I solved using 3D knapsack. Yeah, you can solve it using 3D knapsack. Like instead of using this for loop, you can we can directly access this n minus 1. Okay, you can quickly use, you are doing that. Line number 20. Okay, let us go to line number 20. So this is just like declaring a DP array, 2D DP array of k plus 2 and target plus 2. This can be the alternative to this. This can be the alternative. See, now this is same as this. This is same. In this screen, line number 46. In this screen, line number 46. Okay, fair enough. Same thing. We are just declaring DP of k plus 2 and target plus 2. You can just declare a 2D array. Like this is just like declaring a 2D array of k plus 2 and target plus 2. Same thing. We are just doing in terms of vector itself. Okay, fair enough. So just tell me, Praveen, Mati, am I clear? Okay, now let us move to the very next problem that we are able to do. So let's go to the very last problem. Find the longest string. Okay, fair enough. Now we would go to the very last problem. 1 second, sir. Sure, I would wait for the next 1 second. Quickly tell me, कहाँ पर error हो रहा है? जल्दी जल्दी बताओ. Why k plus 2 and target plus 2? Because see, we are accessing the index. See, we are accessing the index. We are accessing the index k, and we are accessing the index target also. So suppose we are trying to access the index 5. So if we declare an array of size 5, then it would have 1, 2, 3, 4 only. So we need k plus 1 to access the index 5. So instead of k plus 1, we are just doing plus 2. So this can also be done by plus 1 also. So वो k वाला index जाने के लिए k plus 1 तक जाना है. Okay. So if you do k plus 1 also, this is gonna work. K plus 1 is fine too. See, वो k वाला इंडेक्स में जाना है, टारगेट वाला इंडेक्स में जाना, दैट इज व्हाई k plus 1 इज एनफ. थोड़ा सा ऊपर जा लेते हैं ताकि वी बी ऑन द सेफर साइड, बिकॉज मोस्ट वेलकम, नो नीड टू से मी थैंक्स. छोटा सा कमेंट कर दो एंड आई वुड बी हैप्पी. छोटा सा कमेंट करके रीच बढ़ा दो, लाइक कर दो एंड आई वुड बी हैप्पी. फेयर इनफ. दिस इज व्हाट यू नीड टू डू. Okay, fair enough. Now let us move to the very first problem, that is array of strings ARR. You need to find the longest string, which is the lexicographically smallest, and also the prefixing are already stored in the array. So let us see this. We are told कि बहुत सारा string रहेगा, okay, and we need to find a string for all its prefix are already present in the array. So let us first see what is the prefix of a string. So what prefix है क्या? Let us first understand what is prefix basically. So prefix of a string, suppose A, B, C are starting से लेके यहाँ तक जाओ, that is A. starting से लेके B तक जाओ, that is A, B. starting से लेके C तक जाओ, that is A, B, C. These are all the prefix of A, B, C. Same way, if we want to see all the prefix of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, then first we would be going till 1, 1, till 2, 1, 2, till 3, 1, 2, 3, till 4, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. So we would be having all these values. Okay. So prefix मतलब आगे से जाओ, हर पोजीशन के लिए निकालो और बैठ जाओ. So for this we have A, B, C. The prefixes are A, B, and A, B, C. So is all of them present or not? Yes, A is present here. A present है. Okay. A, B is also present here. A, B is present here. Then we have A, B, C. A, B, C भी present है. A, B, C भी present है. So we have all the prefix of A, B, C that is present here. So now we can safely say that yes, that is present. And out of all of those, we need to return the lexicographically smallest. Suppose we have A, B, D also as an answer. A, B, D. ABD also has an answer and ABC also has an answer. So for ABD also, suppose for all the ABD is also a potential answer. How? We have the prefix as AB, A, then AB, and then ABD. So here we can see that A is also present, AB is also present, ABD is also present. So out of ABD and ABC, which one is smaller in dictionary order? Lexicographically ordering means dictionary order में जो सबसे पहले आता है. So ABC lies first. That is why the answer to this is ABC in spite of having ABD also as answer. So am I clear with the problems? Am I clear with the idea or not? Just I would wait for the next 1 minute. Quickly say me, am I clear with this idea or not? Let me know if you have any doubts or not. So quickly let me know if you have any doubts. Okay, everyone is clear. Praveen Bhatt is clear. Rajnandani Jagpatap is clear. Yogesh is also clear. Okay. Now, if you think about this problem, then we can go to all this. Okay. So, see. So we are told that we are having only from lowercase a to lowercase b. Like if we go to here, this problem, then length of array is equals to length of ARRI. So which takes the input and lexicographically smallest string. So given an array of string. So here it is given that we all have the lexicographically smallest string. So lowercase and uppercase does not matter to us. If lowercase and uppercase does not matter to us, then we can't really decide what would be the answer. Why? Because the answer we can think of is AEF also, then we would think this is not valid. We can't really decide on the answer. Because see, ABD is present on one, but ABD is not present on others. So it might be the case that ABDF is also present, but ADF is not answer, but ABD is also answer. Okay, so yes, here it would be answer, but some case it might not be answer. So let us see the possible answers that we can have. Okay, whenever you are given a string problem and the lowercase and the uppercase character does not matter, then what can be the possible values? The possible values can be the first character can be A, B, C or till Z. Okay, or till Z. The next character can be A, B, C or till Z. The third character can be A, B, C or till Z value. We can have that. We can have that or not. Okay, we can have this. So first tell me if this thing is clear or not. First character ABZ में कुछ भी हो सकता है, B character ABZ में कुछ भी हो सकता है, third value ABZ में कुछ भी हो सकता है. अब बताओ this is true or not. Just tell me quickly. I would wait for the next 15 seconds or 30 seconds. Just tell me if things are clear to you or not. Okay, then in example 1, explanation not correct. Okay, in this question, and also qualified with respect to conjure. ABD also qualified with respect to condition. then ABC. Yeah, that is what I'm telling now. See, that is what I tell. Key ABD is also a possible answer. See, ABD is also a possible answer to this. ABD is also a possible answer. ABD is also a possible answer. See, for ABD we have A, then we have AB, then we have ABD. And for this we have A, then we have AB, and then we have ABC. Here also we have A, AB, okay, A, AB, and ABD. I told this. Here also we have all the satisfying conditions. So if we have all the conditions satisfied, then which is smaller? ABC is smaller. That is why the output to this is ABC. Okay, just tell me. Yeah. That is what I'm telling. So the first character can be A, B, C, Z. Next character can be A, B, C, Z. Or third character can be A, B, C, or Z itself. This is what can be thought of. So now what we would do is, I will just tell you this. Okay. So now what can be done? Okay, I would just take this current page, take here, then I would go here. Yeah. So we have this. So now we would be going on all the possible directions. Like we can decide the first character as A. Then we can see that if this is feasible or not. Having A as the answer is feasible or not. Okay. So having A as the answer is feasible because only one prefix is there and that is present. Okay. And then we have the next answer. What is the next answer here? We have the next answer as AA. Is AA feasible or not? Then we would again check here if AA is feasible or not. No, AAA is not feasible here because we have no prefix here. Next we would check for AB. Okay, AB is feasible here because for AB, A is there and AB is there. Okay, for AB, A is also there, AB is also there. Then we would go for B also. For single character, then for single character we can only have A as the possible answer. So if we go to B, B can't be there because there is no B. Then we can't go to C, then we can't go to D till then Z. We can only have A as the answer. Then for the second value, we can see that AAA is not there, but AB is feasible here. So when AB is feasible here, and what are the other things that is feasible here? We can do AC also. Like after A, we can have AB, we can have C. We had A, we had D, we can have E, and we can have F. All prefix, अगर पहला prefix मैच करेगा तभी ना आगे बढ़ पाएंगे. छोटू prefix अगर नहीं रहा तो कोई फायदा ही नहीं आगे जाने का. Okay, this is what we would do. So we would go and search for AA. A is not there. Then we would go and search for AB. Yes, AB is there and all the prefix of AB is there. So AB is a potential answer here. Then we would think of AC here. AC is also not there. AD is also not there. Till AZ it is not there. Then we would decide after AB is there. We would decide from A. So now we have the current as A, B. After AB we have A, we have B, we have C, we have D itself. And we have E also. Okay. So now let us see if this is feasible or not. Okay. So now we would just see if this is feasible or not. So to see if this is feasible or not, do we have ABA, all the prefix of AB or not? All the prefix of A is there, AB is there, but ABA is not there. So this is not possible. Then we have ABB. ABB is not there, so not possible. Then we have ABC. Yes, ABC is also there. AB is already there. So this is a potential answer. Okay. Then we move to ABD. ABD is also there. So potential answer. AB is not there, not potential answer. Same way we can go till F, E, F, G, like F, G, H. Okay. Like all this. Next we go to A, B and D itself. If we go to B and D, the next value we can assign is again after A, B, C, we can assign A, we can assign B, but we don't have any length greater than 3. That is why this is not feasible. Same way for ABD, we don't have any length greater than A. Okay, ABC, greater than 3. So this is also not feasible. That is why the lower value, that is ABC. So at each point we would be having ABC considering all the cases, and then we need to search that particular element in the string. If it is feasible, we would move forward. If it is not feasible, we would ignore that value. Tell me till this point it is clear or not. Stopwatch and timer, tell me if this thing is clear or not. Quickly tell me if this thing is clear or not. Just pointed question was misleading. Yeah, it's absolutely fine. Just tell me if things are clear to you or not. So basically, we just need to think of all the dimension, and if it is feasible, we would move forward. So now, the problem lies in the constraint that we need to search an element. Okay, we need to search an element. Okay, searching index, searching an index if it is present or not. Okay, searching an index if it is present or not. Suppose I want to search ABC is present as a prefix or not. Suppose ABCD is present or not. ABC is present or not, which is present. So we need to search a particular string. So we need to search a particular string. Problem boils down to search a particular string itself. We need to search the string. If we need to search the string, okay, whenever we talk about searching a string, then the first thing that we should be doing is nothing but try. Because जब भी searching और string साथ में रहे, the first thing that you should hit in your mind is the try data structure. Okay, so now the prerequisite of this problem boils down to the constraint that you need to use try. So now as the try implementation, we won't be digging into that implementation. Okay, we won't be considering that. So you just need to learn. If you're watching the recording, then learn try and then again come back to this question. If you're watching it live, then try is something which allows us to search an string. अभी इतना सोच लो, अभी इतना के लिए सोच लो, बाद में try पढ़ के उसका implementation देख के सीख जाना. If you are on live, just as of now, know that we need to search. If we want to facilitate the searching on a string, then we need to use try. Can we use search with a set? No, we can't use search on a set. Because why we can't do this? Because we need to consider the prefix. We need to consider the prefix. We need to consider the prefix. So for considering the prefix, okay, so for considering the prefix, suppose we have a, so how is this try thing loaded? Okay, so try, so I would just explain you how this strings are loaded in the try. Okay, so suppose I want to have A, B, C and D, and then I have D, E, F and E. Then I have X, Y, Z and F. So basically we are like this. From A, we go to B. Okay. From B, we are going to C. From C, we are going to D. It seems simple. But here, from here, we would go to, so we would just store the nodes. So by using this approach, suppose we want to know if AB is present as a prefix or not, then we can simply iterate and we can see AB is present. But we want to suppose AZ is present or not. So AZ won't be present at this node. So if this node is null, we would be saying AZ is not present as a prefix. This is why set can't be used. Okay. एक बार try पढ़ना difference between try and set, then you would understand it much better. And making you understand the whole data structure is not feasible. I hope you understand. So now the things remain the same. What we would be doing is we would be initializing with an empty string. Then what we would be doing is we would be having all the 26 characters. So all the 26 characters is added to that particular string. So if that particular string is present, then we are pushing it to the queue. Okay, then we are pushing it to the queue. Okay, after pushing it to the queue, if we are having a greater length, so initially we have length is equals to 0 and answer is equals to suppose -1. if we have got a greater, suppose we have a where the length is 1, so we would increment the length to 1 and answer as a itself. So we can say that answer is equals to a and length is equals to 1. This is what we are doing. So basically we are just going to the most nearest approach. Okay, this is what we are doing. So try में पहले push कर दे रहे हैं. We are pushing everything in the try, and then we are initializing a queue data structure. Okay, because we want to, suppose A is present, then we want to go to B, then we want to go to C. So this is just like a graph, so we would be just using a queue data structure. Okay, just like the use of BFS. Then we would insert the source, so we would start off with an empty index. Then while the queue is not empty, we would go to the first element and the second element. Then we would add that element to the particular value. Okay, we would add A, then we would add B, we would add B. If we are able to get that particular value, then we would insert it. Suppose we are able to have B, then we would insert it. Suppose we are able to insert AC, we would also insert it. This is what we are doing. So that I first insert all the strings in the set and then propagate. Yeah, this would be getting a TLE. This would be getting a TLE. Because we just need to check the prefixes only. We just need to check the prefixes. That is why I told you that searching in a string in a set or searching in a string in a try, you just learn about it. Then you use set should work. No, set shouldn't work. Just learn the difference between them and you would know that set won't work here. Okay, so now we would be waiting for the last moment. So I will be waiting for the last 1 minute and then I would be turning off the session. Last बार वेट कर रहे हैं. Please like the video and subscribe. So if you have anything to ask, like and comment. This is an ask me anything session. Please like and comment. Okay. Stopwatch. And when this would be 1, then I will be turning off the session. Please explain why set is getting a TLE. Because in set, suppose the prefix is already, suppose for how many number of strings we have. How many number of strings we have. Okay. Suppose that thing is already present in the set. Suppose that thing is, so basically, suppose we want to just check A. Then for A, we would be just going, so I would be just explaining this. Okay. So see, suppose we want to check if A is present or not. Suppose A, we just want to check if A is present or not. Then in a try, we would be just having one node. Suppose we want to check if AB is present or not. Then we would be checking AB also. So what is the length of the string? What is the length of the string? Length of the string is 10 to the power 3. Okay. So I would just tell you. So for searching a particular string, it is log n. But for comparing a string S1 with S2, we iterate on the length of the string. So length of the string multiplied by log n won't fit in the time complexity. But if we just search A, first we have already searched A. If we have already searched A means one node. The second, so A is already valid, we just need to check for second. So then one node, then D node. So which is one node is better than log n into multiplied by 10 to the power 3. So log n multiplied by 10 to the power 3 in the worst scenario. That is why we are getting a time limit exceeded. So now tell me, Yogesh, am I clear or not? Praveen and Yogesh, tell me, am I clear or not? Where it is try. Praveen, just tell me if I'm clear or not. Just quickly tell me and then I would turn off the session. I would wait for the next 30 seconds. Quickly tell me if things are clear to you or not. Okay, just learn about try and then again come back. Okay, see, learn about try. If still you are not getting what I'm trying to say, just consider asking me on LinkedIn. My LinkedIn username is Siddharth Hazra. Just search this name and I would connect with you on Google Meet and I would explain you. Or if it is feasible, I would explain you in text also. That's tree I later found. Yeah. Okay, so that's so try is TRIE. Try is a different data structure. It is not tree. I'm not spelling it incorrectly. Try is a different data structure. Try is not equal to try. Try is not equal to tree. Try is a different data structure. Okay, try is a different data structure. That it's for today. Thank you and have a nice day. Please consider liking the video and commenting on the video so that the reach of the video is increased more. Tata, bye bye.